Okay, so maybe you're thinking of selling your home and you've heard about curb appeal and you're wondering, is it necessary and what is it? And honestly, if I do this whole curb appeal thing, how much money am I gonna make? Well, today we're gonna talk about what curb appeal is, if you need to do it, and how much money you're gonna make if you do it correctly. Stay tuned. Okay, so you live in exactly the average price point home or just a little above or just a little below. So let's talk about what is curb appeal for you and also what are the free things that you can be doing for your home. Now, this is a very generic statement. Even if you want to stop watching this after you hear this next statistic, listen just a little bit longer so you don't accidentally spend money you don't need to spend, okay? On average, your curb appeal, which I will define what that is in a second, should make up about 5 to 20% of your home's value. So basically, if you are in an area where your average home is $250 and you have a home that's $600,000 or $700,000 or higher, you might be spending 20% of your home's value on landscaping. Conversely, you would not spend that kind of money on an average price point home or a lower than average price point home, okay? Now, there are free things that everybody can and should be doing, but let's just say you're in a super busy season of life or no one ever modeled for you curb appeal or what to do on the outside of the home, or you just didn't know, okay? So when we say 5 to 20%, I'm not talking about landscaping. That can be a part of it, okay? But let's say you're in a 5% price point. These are things like making sure the gutters are not beat up, but they're attached to the house, making sure that there aren't cobwebs everywhere, maybe the front door and the storm door. If you have a storm door, maybe you're gonna add a storm door, making sure that we call the eaves of the home or the soffit and the fascia. So if it's an older home, it can be wooden versus vinyl. Newer homes are vinyl. So maybe they're starting to rot or there's rot around the windows. When we think of curb appeal, it's all that stuff. It's the siding of the home, if there's cracking, those sort of things. And then dirty. It does need to be pressure washed. You know, are there things that are beaten and broke up about it that you can address? The front door, the columns, all those kinds of things. So it's the actual maintenance of the home. And these things matter because if you let wood rot go on too long, then it becomes like a $20,000 repair instead of like a $2,000 maintenance item, okay? So that's why that number is bigger. I don't mean that if you have a $250,000 home, you need to go spend $12,000 on landscaping, although you'll have some landscaping that will be in place, okay? So for this average price point, here's what you're looking for. Overall maintenance in the home, so you don't necessarily have a lot of rotten wood. Maybe you have one window that needs something. But to be candid, if you want to see top dollar, spend a couple $100, get that addressed and get it painted if that's in your budget, okay? But the free things you can do, you can get rid of all the cobwebs, you can clean the porches, you can scrub the doors, even taking magic erasers, make sure you don't erase any paint with that, but making sure that when people come up, it feels really, really clean. Clean is free, but clean also sends a message that you care about your home and then therefore people think there's value. Maybe you're not in a position to afford pine straw or mulch right now, but you can weed your beds. You can trim your hedges so that they're not overgrown and eating the house. Even just cutting plants away from the home. It is not good for any sort of shrubbery or plants to be close to the house. That creates a moisture issue, so just cutting them back, not even doing anything special with them, just cutting the backside, not letting them touch the home, trimming small limbs from small trees, those kinds of things. Now, we talk again about your budget overall. If you've had time while you're maintaining your home, do things. If you have these big, awesome oak trees or any big tree, if it's got big limbs, you're either yourself gonna wanna do this if you know how, or hire an arborist who can come and cut back those limbs appropriately so people don't worry about there being storms or microbursts where all of a sudden the limbs fall on the house. Those are things that people are assessing as they're thinking of value and safety in a purchase of a home, okay? So, with that being said, you are looking at the free things you can do for maintenance, making sure the gutters are turned the right way, everything's attached, there's nothing broken hanging off the home, cleaning up any debris, cleaning up those shrubs and bushes, and then if you want to be the best priced home in that average marketplace or create the most competition, you'll look at doing things like maybe adding a storm door if you don't have one already, maybe replacing one, or maybe you saw that the screen was shredded, you would replace that. You're replacing shredded screens on, screen porches, and maybe if you don't have matching screens on all your windows, you take them off all your windows so everything looks uniform and nice. Possibly painting the front door, researching whatever color is popular at that time. If you're missing, maybe, I don't know, like a shutter. You're gonna replace the missing one. Maybe they need to be painted. Those are the kind of things that you're gonna start to do in this price point. And the more you do, the more you're gonna help improve the value of your home. 66% of buyers say they rank it as a top thing they're looking for. That's how much curb appeal matters, that they're considering this as a top factor of value. Beyond that, maybe you can start to do things like put fresh pine straw in your beds. Mulch can be expensive, pine straw is more affordable. Maybe you have some rock, some river rock that you put in a couple places, not everywhere, but strategic to make it look nice. Maybe you have a planter or two by the front door. These are the kind of things that you can start to do, but overall it's maintenance. The things I would invest in first are anything that's broken, anything that's rotten, and then getting it super clean, either yourself or even having it pressure washed. The outside of the home, even the sidewalk and the driveway, all those things make a really big impact as well. So average price home, you want to be squeaky clean. You want to limit how much deferred maintenance you can see. And then if you can update by some light painting on porches or doors, or if you are also in a position where you can refresh your beds or maybe trim a little bit more, have a couple fresh planters, these things are gonna start to make your price go up. I'm Tammy with the clever people at eXp Realty. And if you want more tips on how to make top dollar with curb appeal, keep watching for other episodes or reach out to me directly and we can talk about your home specifically.